Welcome to Nostalgic Necro, and today in the arena we are playing this mono white go tall deck that doesn't actually play any new cards. I'll tell you the story behind today's video. Last night I sat down to record something and I was playing around with the Is It Lessons deck, and man, it just honestly isn't that good from everything I could tell. Maybe someone will figure out how to make it good, but the build that I found just wasn't actually getting me any wins. I didn't want to just showcase something for the sake of it. So I was looking around more on Untapped. I was just trying to find something interesting to do, and this actually piqued my interest because maybe I'm the only one, but I wasn't aware that this was the highest win rate deck. And it is the highest win rate deck and it doesn't play any new cards, which to me is interesting because why was it not the highest win rate deck in the previous meta before the new set came out? What's happened between then and now that made this thing do so well? Because as far as I know, this wasn't the high win rate deck in the previous meta, was it? You'll let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. I mean, I bumped into this from time to time, but it certainly didn't feel like the strongest deck. Whenever I came up against mono white, it tended to be mono white life gain, not this mono white go tall deck. So I became curious about it for that, and I just ended up playing it, and therefore that is what the video is about today. I just want to say something about the avatar set. It's not that I'm not excited about it. I'm just currently trying to figure out where I fit into it. Because, you know, my favorite color is black, and that is usually my go-to when a new set comes out. I try and explore the black cards, and then slowly I, expand from there. And this set, unfortunately, just hasn't done a great job, in my opinion, with black. I think the reason for that is that the Avatar series, which I'm, by the way, a huge fan of, it just doesn't really fit well into black because you sort of have the earth bending for green, it fits very naturally. You have the water bending for blue, you have the air bending, which fits very nicely with white, and then you have the fire bending, of course, which fits very nicely for red. And black just doesn't have a natural slot in the Avatar series. I was thinking about it last night. You know, the Avatar series has something called blood bending, which is kind of like a variant of water bending. And I feel like maybe that's a missed opportunity. If black got its own sort of unique bending, I feel like it would have been better for the set in general, because then it would have given black its own special mechanic. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. And as a result, I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I fit into this Avatar set. I'm sure people will come up with some cool stuff, and when they do, I definitely want to play it. But for now, this is what I'm doing. And so this deck is very interesting, I think. I don't know if I've ever really played a deck like this. It just tries to go tall, and it's pretty basic in that way. But ultimately, it's probably something that you've seen before. We have something like the Optimistic Scavenger, so that whenever an enchantment enters, we can make something very big. We want to make something like the Wonderweave Aerialist very big because it naturally has ward, so it's hard to kill. Then we can also use the Shardmage's Rescue to protect it. Ethereal Armor is going to make everything very big because of all the enchantments we play. So if we can put this on the Wonderweave Aerialist, it also gets flying. We have removal with Seam Rip and Sheltered by Ghosts. Flight of Feathers is flash. Enchant creature gets +1/+0, draws a card. It's an enchantment, so it pairs well with the Optimistic Scavenger. It pairs well with the Ethereal Armor. Giving something flying is just another way that we can get in to the air and hopefully get in the win. And then, of course, the win con of this deck is mainly, I think, the Helpful Weaver, because it creates a creature, then puts a 1/1 counter. It's also an enchantment, so it pairs well again with Optimistic Scavenger and the Ethereal Armor. And the main thing, it gives a creature double strike on its third phase, and that's kind of how you want to get into the win. Give something flying, get in for the win with massive damage on double strike. And then the other card that it plays is this Veteran Survivor. This is the only card that I'm not so sure of about this deck. It has the ability that if it is tapped at the end of your second main phase, you can exile up to one target card from a graveyard, and then if there are 3 or more cards exiled this way, it gets +3/+3 and has hexproof. So that's very cool. It's just very tough, I found, to get that 3 cards under it. However, I don't think you can not play this card because you do need a backup or a way to deal with the Reanimator decks, and this does give you that. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. And as always, I may be the Nostalgic Necro, but I'm putting my nostalgia aside because I was playing around yesterday and rummaging around, and I saw that this deck had the highest win rate. It was A tier on Untapped, and I really wasn't expecting that. I didn't really know about it, so I thought I wanted to try it out. Let's find out how it does in the arena today. Okay, so I was trying to find something to do with the new cards, and I was playing around with this Is It Lessons deck, and it just seems like it's not very good, to be honest. Here we go first. We only have 1 creature though. Whew. Such a risky keep. 1 creature is a risky keep. But yeah, and then I was looking around in Untapped looking for something that had new cards, and I just saw this, and it doesn't play the new cards, but it seems to be a deck that actually wins, so I'm more curious about a deck that wins than I'm necessarily about a deck that plays new cards, to be honest. So I'm just going to do this. I think we will seam rip the Authority. But I wonder if we should just play this now. Oh boy. Again, only one creature. So we have to hope they don't have a kill spell for this now. They don't. Okay, we do this. I think we will take this opportunity to seam rip. Otherwise, this is just going to cause us a problem the whole game. They get lost, we're going to have to protect this. Seam rip. Opponent says nice. Thank you, opponent. Okay, well, they're going to have to deal with this because it's going to get double strike. So we know that they're going to have to go for it. I'm going to give it double strike. So, I'd love to drop this Ethereal Armor, but it's just impossible. They will absolutely kill this spider. There's just no way it lives. It does live, incredibly enough. Okay, now I'm wondering if I should have done that. I could have maybe just gone for the kill. It would have been 2 more damage. So we either play into the sweeper. I don't think we'll play into the sweeper. Well, this is a must-kill threat for them now. Okay, they dig. I feel like they have to deal with this now. They're on 9 life. They have to deal with this problem. It's a 4-3. It's not like a little 2-1 or something. It's putting a clock on them. Let's see what they do here. 3 mana. They go for another Authority. This is flash? I never realized this had flash. Oh, okay, let's do this. Let's flash this in. Opponent seems to have no answer. Oh man. Ethereal Armor gets it down to how much? Ooh, Ethereal Armor is a lot of damage. Okay, I'm just going for the kill here. Hopefully this works. Scavenger. I don't think there's any stick. That's why I'm doing this. Get it nice and big, nice and juicy. 10-8 spider, and get the win. There was no stick by the opponent there. I don't know, is it okay to use the whole stick thing? Is it like kind of like a dark art? Are you allowed to kind of see that there's no stick and therefore use that to your advantage? Because I kind of used that to infer that the opponent probably had no instant speed into action. Okay, nice to start off with a win there with this old new mono white deck. At least new for me. I haven't seen it before. Okay, we got 2 creatures. Or I mean, this is kind of a creature. We got early removal. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Get down this Survivor. This is such a good card because you need it against the Reanimator decks, right? Otherwise, how are you going to win? How are you going to win against those Reanimator strategies if you don't have any way of doing graveyard hate? I think we just seam rip this thing. We just wait 1 turn. This is probably Reanimator. Oof, boy. What do you do here? Do you give them 1 turn with the Collector's Vault? I think this card is probably a key card for them. Okay. Okay. I've changed my mind. I'm gonna try just get a little bit more of a board state going here. It means that we give them 1 turn with the Collector's Vault. Maybe I'll regret it. We're gonna find out soon. Opponent's playing 211 cards. They're one of those. Put it on the spider here. Play a land. Let's do this. Force them to tap out. We'll force them to tap out, right? Because they're going to want to get the value. They will get a treasure token out of it, though, I guess. Take this thing out, though. Okay. Opponent draws. They're going to get treasure, and they bin this thing. Okay, so we definitely want to hold up this Shardmage's Rescue. Double hit. Next time we get a double striker, take this out of the graveyard. That's good. This deck needs the lessons, right, in order to discount everything in the graveyard and stuff like that. It's pretty good. It's got 5 mana here. It's pretty scary. They hit Ultima. And this is unfortunately only hexproof. Oh man, that is bad. That is very bad. We could do this to try and draw a card because we have nothing otherwise. Oh boy, that Ultima was unexpected. Okay, at least we hit another Weaver so we can apply some pressure. But now, unfortunately, our Weaver is not that useful. Don't get to double strike anything. Okay, hit land. Hope that the opponent does not have another sweeper and we can protect this Weaver with the Shardmage's Rescue. I absolutely did not expect that. Didn't expect it. I think we're just gonna have to... No, we can't go for this. We have to try and protect our last creature. Do this, put on the Flight of Feathers. They might target it. We have the Shardmage's Rescue. Lightning Helix. We put this on you. And we have one more shot at protecting this thing. Draw a card. Another helpful Weaver is great, but we cannot afford to tap out here. We're going for the double strike plan next turn. Hoping the opponent does not have a sweeper, something we can protect with the Shardmage's Rescue. This is somehow not online, even though they have so much lands. Opponent plays this. Opponent digs. What is this? Target non-basic land. Don't care about that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, another Ultima? Are you kidding me? Ah, when I get so angry, I just say nice to the opponent because otherwise I get too angry to deal with it. At least we didn't... Okay, at least we didn't use up our last trump card here. Another most helpful Weaver. Shardmage's Rescue is going to have to do a lot of work here. Protect it. Opponent has one card. They only have a land. It is absolutely a top deck war now because we put a thing on this. Seamrip is useless. Hit them. They could have created a fish. Why didn't they create a fish? Okay. Create a fish now. Why didn't they create a fish as a chump blocker? We have Seamrip, but they can create another fish. Damn. Okay, they can create another fish here. So unfortunately we're going to have to Seamrip this, but they're going to be able to create another fish at instant speed. It does whittle their life total down a little bit. Ooh, this game is exciting. Very exciting. Double strike and reach. Opponent goes for the draw, a card draw. Interesting. They don't go for the blocker? Okay, maybe they were looking for removal, not knowing that we had the Shardmage's Rescue. I feel like they should have gone for another fish blocker. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, but I'm glad to take the win there. Okay, getting 2 wins here. Certainly starting to give me confidence that this deck might actually be pretty good. I really wasn't sure. First time this Wonderweave Aerialist is popping up. Shardmage's Rescue. If we were just on the play, I'd be so happy. But we will do our best here on the draw. Lenoir Elves. Play the Scavenger. So we're up against Simic. Simic. And I think this is a pretty tough matchup for us actually. If they have the Droneth. They do have Droneth and we have no removal. Oh man, this is such a good start for them. Okay, I'm pretty worried now. Don't hit the Seamrip. We have to go for this, I guess. Create a creature, put a 1/1. Don't think we attack. This is too important for us, I feel. They'll never block with the Droneth. If they would to do anything, they'd block with the double block the Sirens. And I don't think I'd like to give up my Optimistic Scavenger for these Sirens, because this is our scaling card. I think that's okay. Next turn, maybe we can go for the Flight of Feathers. It's not over. We do need to whittle down these flyers, that's for sure. Because if we're going to win, I feel like we're going to win in the air. What is this? This is a new card. Why am I playing so many? This is a... Oh, I thought this was also... there were more cards than 60 there. Okay, opponent puts it into the graveyard. I'm not really going to read it since it's in the graveyard now. It's just a lot of text to read on the fly. Opponent is thinking about what to do here. They could go for another map. They don't. So. Put a 1/1 here, I suppose. Give it flying. And protect it with Shardmages. I think this is okay. The other option was to get down the Helpful Weaver. Be keen to try and get a flyer on board here so we can apply some pressure though. This means that they can actually double block it now. But we can use the Shardmage's Rescue. Okay, they go for the Floodpits Drowner. Play. They get double Floodpits Drowner. Damn. Because they get double. If we do this, does it still get... Yeah, okay, so we protect it, so at least... None of the Floodpits Drowners can target it now. But they do have chump blockers, so it's not great. They can now target the Optimistic Scavenger instead though, so that kind of sucks. And... I mean, we attack, but it has no trample, really. And then they can just swing and back at us for so much damage. But how are we going to win if we don't whittle down these flyers? I think we have to try and... We're going to have to attack here. Because we have to get rid of these flies that they have, otherwise we're just dead. I don't see any other way. I'm gonna have to... they didn't block, damn. I was hoping that they block and then next turn I draw something like Seam Rip or Sheltered by Ghosts. We are tapped out now, very vulnerable. Look at this board state the opponent's assembled. Opponent attacks, attacks, attacks. Attacks and attacks. Okay, so they've left one blocker. We draw removal. We don't draw removal, unfortunately, but I was gonna say if we drew removal there, we could have actually won, because we could have given this double strike. They have the Toshiba Tidebinder. They get double Toshiba Tidebinder. So this loses all abilities. Still has flying though. Okay. So, what do we do here? I mean, I'm gonna attack. Again, I feel like I have to. They got a chump blocker. It's such a pity that we didn't draw removal. And then you. And you. Okay, yeah, we can put something on something. We're gonna give you flying. That's something, I guess. So we got two blockers. And then still got another flyer here. Ouroboroid. Okay. Opponent went way ahead of us there. That first, I mean, that Droneth getting them the double, what's it called? Double Spyglass Sirens was really just put them ahead. From that point on, we really struggled to get back into it. Okay, taking the first loss there. Hopefully we can be on the play. We are. We only have one creature. Pretty keen to try and do something like play it, Sheltered by Ghosts to protect it. Hopefully they don't have, you know, 1 mana removal. It's not a bad play sometimes, just to get that shelter down, then the opponent struggles to target it. And then maybe just deal massive damage with the Ethereal Armor. I'm gonna try it. If it's mono red, it's not. Oof, okay, Scavenger changes the equation a little bit. Still think you might want to do this. Just give this thing protection. Just give it protection. Next turn we can Scavenger and do something like Ethereal Armor on it. Okay, so the opponent's going to struggle to deal with it now. Ah, boy, what do we do? What do we do? We can go for the Spellbook Vendor play as well, but we spent so much time, we invested so much time in protecting this guy. I'm going to try this. I feel like I never played the Spellbook Vendor. I always find an excuse not to play this card. Okay, opponent abrades. Okay, in that case we will attack and go for the... take the abrade. Go for the scavenger play here. So we know that the opponent's playing instant speed removal and they're playing burn. Oh boy, what do we do? Go for Shelter by Ghost on the scavenger so that they have 2 cards that they need to target. If they have the removal now, they will be forced to use it here. Not the best. I mean, I should have put it here, right? Refute. Okay, they had the refute anyways. I should have put it here because they actually would only be able to target this if they have a 1-mana spell. And it's zombifies. Okay, they're a reanimator. That's good for us. Trying to make this as big as possible. Huge attack here. And we'll take Zombify. Okay, they're a Reanimator deck. I was not expecting that. This is very good, therefore. Reanimator doesn't generally play that much into action, but they have ill-timed explosion. Are you kidding me? Ah, sweepers, man. They're not fair. Sweepers just aren't fair. Are they fair? Are sweepers fair? When you get yourself into such a nice position and just one card just blows you out completely. Okay. I think we're just cooked here. I'm gonna see what I draw. But the ill-timed explosion really took me out of nowhere. Draw a seam rip. Seam rip this thing. Okay. Okay, well, after a very strong start, taking 2 losses, it doesn't feel good. And man, sweepers, huh? When you're playing these aggro decks, sweepers are just so rough. Okay, taking a loss there, and certainly feeling like I'm seeing some limitations with this deck. It is very vulnerable to those sweepers. Opponent goes first. Opponent goes first. We have to mull this because we got nothing. Most helpful weaver is something. We're going to put away a land. And hope to draw one maybe some point later in the game. Not the most important thing right now. Opponent bins get lost. What is next for us? What is next? We already have consoles. Plays land. I don't think you can afford to play this helpful weaver. You have to hold the Shardmage's Rescue to protect it. Because otherwise, if they just kill it, you're dead. You have no other creature, no backup, nothing. One digs too deep. Okay, we did find a creature. That's pretty good. What do we go for here? We can go for the... go for this. We'll go for this. It's a ward creature. They're going to struggle a little bit to deal with it. So, and it takes 2 damage there. Happy to seam rip this for starters. You just play Shelter by Ghosts here. I think we just do Shelter by Ghosts on this thing. Give it a lot of protection. And shoots the Sheriff. And we Shardmage's rescue it. I hope that the opponent doesn't have a sweeper, which, you know, they seem to always have against me. Feeling very salty about these sweepers right now. Let's see if the sweeper does come down. It is a ward 4 now. That's something that's good about it. And bins, Verge. Stock up. So they're pretty desperately looking for the sweeper now. We hit Seam Rip. I think we have to go for this, right? Maximize pressure. I mean, they stocked up, so they almost certainly have the... They almost certainly have it, but I think we have to try this. So this gives us 9, and this would give us only another 1. I don't think we can afford to play this most helpful weaver. We have to hope that they sweep up. I mean, hope that they don't have a sweeper, but if they do, let them sweep the board and we try win with the most helpful weaver. Okay, they get... Doesn't this thing have... Hold on. How many ward? This thing has... Oh, it's got ward? Yeah. Okay, it did have just ward. Okay, well, gonna have to find good things here. Crack a map. Another creature's good. Don't love our chances from this position, but they do have to answer a creature this turn and a creature next turn. Don't think it's going to be quite enough though, I have to be honest. They look for removal this way. They're going to have to find a 2-mana, but nothing's protected. Oh boy, you just assume that they'll find him. They dug so deep. They dug so deep. Tapped land, they surveil. They bin this. They're gonna find, get lost. Okay. Well, we have another shot at it right here. We are digging only for creatures. That's all I care about right now. Nothing else is relevant. Flight of Feathers does let us draw, but I think we need to find creatures. We just have to assume they're going to be able to kill every creature we play, so we have to find creatures. Okay, wait, does this help us present lethal? No, I think we have to find creatures. If we don't find creatures, we're just toast. It's got 5 cards in hand. They must have the answer for this. How could they possibly not have the answer? They hit Baza. Baza is not exactly the answer, but it's, you know, it keeps them going. Although it does have flying, now that I realized. I think has flying. Okay. Double strike. Double strike. There's no way they can kill it, right? It's got ward 2. It's got double strike. And Ethereal Armor. Do they have a counter for the Ethereal Armor, maybe? Oh, we get the win there? Oh my word, I did not think we would get the win there. Oh, I hate playing Control. When you play these decks that sort of like are very brittle, and if your opponent just kills one creature, it's so tense. It's just so tense. Okay, we go first. I really would like to get the spellbook thingy, spellbook vendor going. This is a good hand. 2 creatures. Now, if my opponent just doesn't play sweepers, I feel like we win. I feel like that's the criteria for winning with this deck. Opponent doesn't play sweepers. Okay, so we just go for the attack here. And the Wonderweave Aerialist. I've not been that impressed by this card. I think you have to have it because otherwise this deck is very vulnerable to Iron Crag. Very vulnerable to, what's it called? Could exile this. I think it's... We exile this, we prevent them from ramping into the sweeper if they are control. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I've had enough of getting hammered by these sweepers. Just take it. Yeah, I was going to say that it does give you the ability to be somewhat robust to the Reanimator decks, and that's very prevalent in the current meta, so don't think you can cut it out, but I haven't been that impressed with it. It's pretty hard to get this +3/+3 going, actually. So my thinking is, at least we prevented them from hitting the sweeper, if that's their plan, by 1 turn. They play Relic. Okay, so it's not that. So we could do this. That would give it 4, 5, 6. It's not going to be enough to kill them, so we just hold here. They do play Starcage though, so I don't think we can afford to go all in here. We need some backup. Let's see what this draws us. Maybe we find Ethereal Armor. We don't. So I just think if we play this and the Shardmage's Rescue, it gets... we don't have enough damage, right? Okay, so I think we just do this and hope they don't have the Starcage. If they do, we try rebuild with 2 creatures. It's not the worst situation. They don't have the Starcage. Of course they have the Starcage though. Yeah, they have United Battlefront. Very close. Might as well be Starcage. 7-card dig. Did they find it? They don't find it. And we have the Shardmage's Rescue to prevent them from targeting whatever they think they're going to target. Very nice to get a win over these artifacts. I hate them so much. Flying. 7 damage in the air because this will give +1/+1. Yes, we're going to win this game. We're going to beat artifacts. Good. They deserve to be defeated. True nemesis, I would say, over the past few seasons has been artifacts for me. Yes, opponent, would you like to... Okay, well, just do this first, and then we'll do this. Okay. 7 damage here. Opponent's got no way of gaining life. Everything has flying, so we are going to get the win over the pesky artifacts. Opponent puts 2 at the bottom. Seam Rip. We don't need to use it, right? Everything's got flying. Yeah, okay. Everything's got flying. It's 7, right? Yeah. Didn't miscount or anything. Get them down to exactly 0. Goodbye, artifacts. I will not miss you. I will not miss you when you're gone. Okay, well, currently I think I'm 4-2. We're going to do one more here and see if we can really push that win rate up or not. We go first. You keep this. It's not the worst thing. I mean, it's not a terrible hand. All land is pretty rough though, but I think you still keep this. We got stuff to do, and if it's aggro, we got Sheltered by Ghosts. And we hope that we just don't draw another land. Patchwork is not great. Okay, we draw the Scavenger. So, let me just think. What do you go for here? I think we go for this, because then we can maximize the synergy between the Scavenger and the Helpful Weaver. Since they're both enchantments. Okay. Environmental is a problem. So, play the Optimistic Scavenger. So this thing has power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. This thing is going to be a pain in our ass the whole game. We don't just get rid of it. Do this. Put Shelter by Ghosts on you. It's flying. And I think I'm just going to take this. Try keep this thing low by... you know, not letting them actually have lots of creatures. So it goes back down to a 2/2 and we hit 4. 4. Next turn we can up to it. Oh boy. Okay, opponent doesn't attack. Oh boy, that's so good. So we do this. Okay, we're just gonna make this thing as strong as possible, right? Do this. Put everything on you. They'd need 4 mana. Ethereal Armor. How big does it get? It's nice and juicy. 9. Attack. And very difficult card for them to deal with because it's got Ward 4. I don't think their deck has a way to deal with a Ward 4 creature. They got Sheltered by Ghosts. And that's not going to be enough. Valley Quest Caller. Do they have something that blocks a flyer. They have Sheltered by Ghosts. They can take our Sheltered by Ghosts. Right? Yeah, they can take our Sheltered by Ghosts. Is that enough? Presenting lethal. I don't think it's going to be good enough. Right? I'm not missing something, am I? Nothing here has reach. No reach, no reach, no reach. Nothing has reach. So 7. And we have 33 life. Oh, they're going to gain life. I did not realize that. They're going to gain life. Okay, okay, okay. Wait, this game is very much still going on. That changed everything. We are going to get a double striker. Let me just think. I'm not too worried. Oof, but only they gain life now. We don't. Okay, we're not going to block. There's no need to block here. We've got lots of life. Nice opponent. Completely swung the game with that. I didn't actually think about that at all. This. We are going to get a double strike. I don't think it's actually going to be enough though. We're going to have to find something good here. Auto pay. You. Oh, right, it gives it more. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't realize it's an enchantment. That's why it synergizes so well. Right, okay. And then this thing scries. Maybe we can find removal or seam rip. No. Okay, next turn we get a double striking 11-11. I think we're okay. Next turn we get a huge double striker. I think we're okay. Ouroboroid, are you kidding me? Oh, okay, but it's not insane yet. It's not insane yet. We might be okay. Take. Might as well take it all, right? There's no need to block anything. Opponent goes down to whatever, but we get you on double strike. And attack. There's no point doing it again, right? Can't put double. Yeah, okay. It was nice to get the win there. Man, they really took me by surprise when they took the Sheltered by Ghosts. For some reason, I didn't realize the big impact it would have on that game. It swung back in their favor, but the double strike did it. And man, look, this deck, it doesn't play any of the new cards, but I saw that it had the highest win rate on Untapped, and I thought, you know what? Let's play this deck that seems to have just snuck by. And I don't know why it's doing so well. It's not playing any new cards, but for some reason, it's winning more games than other decks. So yeah, pretty cool. Welcome back. I put my nostalgia aside because this deck just sparked my curiosity last night, even though it doesn't play any new cards. But actually, that's the reason it sparked my curiosity, because it doesn't play any new cards. So it's the highest win rate deck currently on Untapped. It doesn't play any new cards. So why wasn't it so prevalent in the previous meta? But now it is. Was it always prevalent and I just wasn't aware of it? Or did something happen, like for example with the bans, that made this deck more viable now? I'm just not really sure. It's kind of the first time I've seen it, you know, with such a high win rate and being sort of A tier. So I was just curious to try it out for myself and see how it does. And yeah, it is a very fun deck to play when it gets going. It is a bit brittle, and I'll talk about that in a second. But when things go right, it's very good because you've got the Ethereal Armor to buff everything, or the most helpful Weaver to give your creature double strike. And then the deck also has a lot of protection with the Shardmage's Rescue and the Sheltered by Ghosts. And then the Wonderweave Aerialist has protection with the War 2 naturally. So that means that your creatures are pretty well protected from targeted removal. And then if you can just make them big, then, you know, of course you can get in with a win. And the other thing is that the deck has quite a lot of ways to give something flying, because you have the Wonderweave Aerialist, which gets flying if it's modified, which this deck is very good at doing. And you also have the Flight of Feathers, which gives something flying. So that's kind of the strategy there. I did not really get this Veteran Survivor going, but I don't think you can cut it because you do need a way to deal with the reanimation strategy. So this definitely stays. And I really like the Spellbook Vendor. I do wish that I'd gotten it going a bit more, but the ability I saw in the last game to essentially get +2/+2 because of the Optimistic Scavenger plus the Scry is very, very relevant, and I think this card is very good. I've actually never played with this card before, so I was excited to try it out for the first time, and I definitely saw the potential in that last game there. Now, let's just talk about the weaknesses of the deck. Based on today's gameplay, I spotted 2 clear weaknesses. The one is we are so weak to sweepers, and this always brings up the question. I've chatted on the channel with quite a few times about this, that me and Mochikio have suggested maybe playing the Restoration Magic instead of the Shardmage's Rescue in these decks. Unfortunately, of course, the Restoration Magic is not an enchantment, so you lose some synergy there, but it does give indestructible, and that can protect you from the sweepers. So it might be worth it because you don't want to lose to those sweepers, but then you're losing a bit of enchantment synergy. There's sort of a trade-off there. Maybe that just needs to be tested. And then the other weakness that I found with the deck is that it has no way of doing something like trample. So if you come up against, for example, the Spyglass Siren, and the opponent was able to make multiple copies of that, it could just easily block these flyers, even if they had double strike and stuff like that. So that's the other weakness of the deck. And there's no real way to give trample as far as I know in white, so maybe there's another way around it, I don't know. But the flyers that your opponent just creates chump blockers is another potential issue. But anyways, that'll be the gameplay for today, and I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, stay tuned and consider subscribing, because there's going to be more nostalgic Necro coming soon.